Well, hey gang, how you doing? It's Jonathan again from Tailhunter International down here in La Paz, Baja, Mexico. And it's time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz Video Fishing Report. And this is coming to you for the weeks of the 22nd to the 29th of October 2017. Thanks for checking in. Thanks for taking the time. Please take a look at the information below and join us every week, as we've been here since 1995. Would love to have you come down and visit us here in La Paz for some great fishing and great Baja adventures. Let's talk about fishing. You know, this is probably going to be one of the last video fishing reports we have of the year. Might just have a couple left, but for the most part, listen, the seasons are changing. You can tell it in the air, the water. The winds are more prevalent now. Those northern winds that we have during the colder months of the season, they're on us. Not really strong yet, but some days are a little bumpy, a little bit rough, and that's one reason we don't have a lot of reservations from November to April. It's just a little bit rocky out there. In fact, some of the days right now are already on the edge of being maybe non-fishable, so we're having to fish inshore. The days when the winds aren't blowing, the fishing's great. The days when the winds are blowing, fishing is a little bit off. So that's the way it's going right now. The calmer days are the exception. Normally during the season, it's calm during the day. Then we have these great cooling winds in the afternoon. Right now, it's just the opposite. In the mornings, we've got a breeze. Sometimes it's very windy in the mornings. And then it's the afternoons when everybody's done fishing that it's calmer. So things are changing. We're getting into the colder months of the season, but that doesn't mean we don't have some great fishing right now. So let's talk about that. Over at Las Arenas, you know, we've had great tuna fishing. Some of the best tuna fishing we've seen in years for the last 3 months. We've had some tuna from 10 up to 100 pounds. And I'm calling it the Great Tuna Bite of 2017. Well, you know, for the most part, I'm going to say the Great Tuna Bite of 2017 is officially done. We've still got some tuna out there. We've still got some big boys out there. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, there's just a couple tuna left. We're getting 1, 2, 3 a day. Some, if the pongas are specifically targeting them. So we're not getting the tons of tuna we were getting earlier in the week, or earlier in the month, or earlier last month. What we're getting is a few sporadic tuna bites here and there. Not to say that they're not there, but you know, for the most part, that big, great crunchy charge of tuna we had for so long, I think that's going to be over as the temperatures change. Like I said, there's still some tuna out there, but what the nice thing is that there's a lot of variety. As the tuna have moved away, the Dorado have come on stronger, so there's no shortage of action. The Dorado are running, you know, 5 to about 25 pounds or some bigger, so we're replacing some of that action from the tuna with more Dorado. We're also seeing some sailfish, we're seeing some marlin. The roosterfish are still here. Not the big 60, 70, 80 pounders we had maybe even a month or 2 weeks ago, but there's still some 5, 10, there's some 40 pounders out there, so if you want to chase roosters, those are still there. Also, the wahoo have come back stronger. We had some great hookups this week. Didn't get as many as we should have because a lot of them came off the line or they bit through. That's just the nature of these kind of fish, but we've got some big wahoo out there. There's also pargo and cabria, so there's no shortage of action, especially when you add in, you know, the bonito bites and the those terrible needlefish and some of the other fish that are just pests out there. You could still have a 30 to 40 fish bite day and still keep a couple left. So there's no shortage of action for Las Arenas. There's just fewer tuna, much more Dorado replacing that. As far as our La Paz fleet is concerned, that's where the winds are affecting us the most, because we head out north and the winds are coming from the north. So it's getting a lot bumpier. It's getting a lot tougher to fish some of the areas that we've been fishing all season. But when the winds are down, or after the winds calm down in the mornings, you know, we get into these Dorado, and the Dorado are still there. There's still great locations, great schools of Dorado scattered all over the bay, scattered all the way from one island to the other. And the fish are, again, some fun size. There's some little dinks out there, 5, 6, 7, 8 pounders, but there's some 20, 30 pounders as well. So that's mixing in with some great action. Big bonita, 8 to 10 pounds, 12 pound bonita. But here's the big surprise. We also hit tuna this week. And you know, we usually don't hit tuna with our La Paz fleet, but for the last, say, 3 or 4 weeks, sporadic schools of tuna have hit the area. And in the last few days, as it came up to doing this fishing report on the weekend, we had some big spots of tuna where the guys were throwing out bait and the fish were crashing all over the place. And we got some good 20, 25 pound fish out there. So that's been a really nice surprise. So again, no shortage of action for either one of our fleets, La Paz or our Tailhunter fleet over at Las Arenas, Muertos Bay. A lot of action still to be held, but just an aviso that, you know, the winds are coming up stronger and we're tapering down toward the end of the season. I'll let all of the photos in the gallery do all my talking this week. Check those out. There's some great action photos. Had some great fly fishing this week as well, so take a look at those. This is Jonathan for Tailhunter International and your La Paz Mexican Minute Video Fishing Report. Hope to have you down sometime. Let us know if there's anything we can do for you. You have yourself a great week.